Hey, what's up guys, Sir Emanon here, and welcome to another dual commentary on the channel today. So this is going to be the finals of LCS number 8, and it's going to be featuring Gabriel Netz versus Pak, both of whom are on Virtual World. So as per usual, I'll leave a link to Pak's YouTube channel in the description box down below, so you guys can go ahead and check him out. But in case you guys haven't seen this finals match, this was a pretty interesting one, to say the least. I did watch this one live, so I already know what goes down, but we'll be able to see it from just a full knowledge perspective. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We are going to see Pak win the RPS. I'm going to opt to go first here in this finals. The opening hand for Pak is going to be Lulu, Nibiru, Gamma, Desires, and Gigi. So it's not an amazing hand, because you typically don't want to commit your normal summon, but it's still not horrible. Like, it's definitely playable, and the Desires can help get there. And then Gabriel's hand is a copy of Kieran, Ashe, Double Ashe, Gigi, and another Kieran. So double Kieran, double Ashe, Gigi. This hand is also kind of workable. It's not amazing as well, but like, both hands are like enough to play, but not like ideal case scenario. We're gonna see Desires come down first. That's gonna banish 10, and it's gonna be met with Ashe here, which will be met with the Gamma in response. So yeah, the Gyro did not get banished. What did get banished was, I don't think anything too important. Yeah, only one of each of everything except for Qinglong, which you only really need one because you can recycle the rest with Nian, so it's fine. Yeah, so Gamma and Driver are going to summon themselves to negate Ashe, and then Desire is going to draw Call By and Chuche. So it didn't really help get to any of like the really key plays of the deck, but it still, again, is just good enough. Gonna go into Omega here. Omega going to go ahead and rip a card out of hand. That's gonna hit the Ashe, which is the worst card in this hand to hit. Hitting the Gigi there would have been like absolutely devastating. But gonna normal summon the Gigi himself and then go for a copy of Lulu next. That is going to send a copy of Qinglong to add Chuche to hand. Sucks that he drew the Chuche because he was going to be always searching this, because whenever you target a monster, you're always going to be sending Qinglong to add the trap. And like vice versa, if you have like Halloween to start with and then you target the trap, you're always going to dump spell to search a monster. But I mean, he at least put one of them in grave for this Qinglong here, which is going to be activated. That's going to add Lalo to hand, so we can get rid of Chuche to overmodulate for this turn. So that's pretty decent. Going into a Synchro 6, that's going to be Juju. Next is going to trigger Lalo's effect targeting Juju. That is going to send a Kowloon because he's out of Qinglong's, so he needs to send not that. I think he banished the third trap as well. Yeah, he did. So that's the only card he could send since he targeted a monster. And then Lalo's going to bring back the Gigi. Then he's going to Synchro for a copy of Croc. Croc is going to draw Nian Yan. That's very good. It's just like more cards to help facilitate follow up for next turn potentially, because oh wait, he didn't use the Gigi this turn, so he can't add back, but it still at least is a Virtual World name. But yeah, we are gonna see Chuche being banished to increase Juju's level by 3. They were in Discord, but again, I watched this match to actually kind of know what happened here. He's gonna go for Tricking of All Calamities, and then gonna set Call By and the Chuche, and then pass. He has a pop here, and he has Omega coming back for next turn. He doesn't have like the most amazing follow-up, but we will see. Gabriel's gonna draw a copy of Gamma for turn, which would have been nice to have earlier. He's not gonna shotgun, and there's no way that he could play without like trying to bait for Gamma, because it's not like he can activate a spell and then hope that, you know, Pak chains the VFD to like, you know, dodge impermanence and then like play in a Gamma. So it's not really a good way to bait for that. So he's going to normal summon the Gigi, and then in response, Pak is going to use the Tricking of All Calamities, calling, I believe it was Wind, which allows Gabriel to use Kieran still because it's an Earth. It only changes possession for those on field, but he's going to chain the Chuche, and then that's just going to be the end of the game. Realistically, Pak's follow-up wasn't that great that game, but I mean, he would have been still far enough ahead and had to deal with another VFD for the following turn. So Gabriel's going to go first in game 2 here. The opener for him is going to be double Kowloon, Lulu, E-Telly, and Gamma. So this hand is like extremely good. You always want to see one of these two, if not both. Like if you draw both of them, then it's just insane. Plus he has Gamma to back it up in case, you know, he gets hit with a hand trap himself. You could do the same thing that Pak did in game 1. But Pak's hand is also Lulu Kowloon, so that's like very good. Chuche, Driver, and Qinglong, so no hand traps here. Gonna be tough to like actually do anything. So yeah, the Gamma actually won't be needed here since Pak didn't open a hand trap. Gonna activate Kowloon, that's gonna place a copy of Chuche from deck. Then he's going to use Lulu, and Pak's already just gonna scoop right there because it's beyond full combo. Pak has no hand traps, and there's not a good way to really deal with it. So that was the first 2 games of the finals. The last game is a little bit more back and forth, although not by that much. There's a lot of watchers entering chat, which makes the next play button have to be clicked a lot. But Pak's gonna go first in game number 3 here, and we're gonna see his opening hand be Foolish Goods, Driver again, Desires, Nian Nian, and Lelel. So it's not fantastic. It's serviceable though. Again, like he can have Desires to get him there. He does have Goods to be able to get a copy of Qinglong into Grave, so we can search Lulu if needed. Which again isn't horrible. It's not ideal, but like it can get there. And then Gabriel's hand is a copy of Chuche, Lulu, Kirin, Nibiru, and Desires. So Nibiru gonna be pretty big here. Desires also, like it's kind of hard to evaluate hands with Desires until you actually activate them and resolve them. But like the hand is pretty decent. It only really needs one really strong card to get there without like having to commit the normal summon. So Pak is going to be entering main phase 1 here. He's going to activate Desires. That's going to banish 10. And he's going to draw a copy of Lao Lao and Lulu. So it's not pretty, but it's good enough probably. He's going to normal summon the Nian and then target it with the Lulu. That's going to send Qinglong to search a copy of Chuche. Actually, let's check what he banished. He banished another Nian Nian. Both of his other Nian Nians, so this is the only one he has. Let's see. Other than that, nothing too important. Yeah, nothing really important at all, actually. And again, like this deck can always just recycle its resources just because Nian Nian recycles anything for some reason, which is really, really good. He is going to... Well, he added the trap off the Lulu. He's going to summon itself to the field. And then going to banish the Qinglong. That is going to search for a copy of Gigi. And then get rid of Driver. So this is like one of the scenarios where like Foolish Goods doesn't end up actually mattering here. Because like if you're able to play, you're normally sending the Qinglong regardless. But it still can't help with consistency. So it's like people are on the fence about it. Some people are vehemently against it. Others stand by it. It really just depends on how much you want to like play, if you can afford some redundancy. Because that can happen when you have a card like this in your hand. He's going to get rid of Driver after getting his search for, I believe it was Gigi there, because they had double Lao Lao. Yeah. He's going to go for Juju, and then go for Gigi next. That's going to summon itself by sending a copy of Chuche. Gonna be hard for him to play without committing the Lao Lao, because this is like insurance against Nibiru to some degree. He is going to trigger Nian and Grave. Then he's going to... I guess he's going to reveal the trap again. Yeah, there's going to be Nibiru there. So that is a 4,900, 4,800 token. It's going to be put in a tap position. This is to... it's being put in a tap position here because of Utopia Beyond. Because that's a commonly played out to Dragoon. So you can reduce their attack to 0 and then like facilitate OTKs better. That's why he's putting it in attack here. Yeah, this is tough. Because Pak doesn't have any good follow-up here. Unfortunately. He's going to set Chuche as his only interruption and then pass play. He's going to resolve Gigi to add back Lulu. But yeah, not looking too good. We see the no material for turn, which is dead right now, but he has, again, enough to play. It's marginal, though. Like, right now, his hand does die to Chuche if he has to normal summon the Lulu. So the Desires is going to be very pivotal here. He's going to use it, banish 10, and draw a copy of Kowloon, which is the real card to unlock the hand, and the Lao Lao. So yeah, this basically ensures that he is safe from the Chuche, that he knows that Pak has Chuche. Let's see, the banish here was Driver. I believe that was double No, wait, no. I saw that wrong. Yeah, alright, so it was really nothing important banished. But yeah, Kowloon being picked up off the Desires really makes it so that the Chuche will not be as impactful here. He's thinking. Gonna go for Kowloon. That's going to place the Chuche from deck face up. Then he's going to activate Lulu, targeting the Chuche. He's going to Chuche in response. Pak is. I mean, you kind of have to do it as early as you can, like, because if they get one, like even one play started, like if they manage to ever get 2 virtual world cards in the field, then it's gonna be tough to really stop them from snowballing. So you have to go for it, which I think it was a fine play. But they can just normal summon it anyway, and he has Kieran and he has Lao Lao, so it's gonna be tough. He can double Foolish Burial for Qinglong and a Nian Yan, because they only banished one, I believe. Yeah, he only banished one Yan, so he can just send that as well. Oh wait, no, he targeted the monster. I'm bad. Wait, no. He can only send the trap, which he does have a 3rd copy of. I wonder if he's going to go for it. He's gonna opt not to double Foolish, it looks like. There is a lot of waiting going on here. I'm spam clicking this next play button. I don't want to hit fast forward because I tend to miss plays whenever I accidentally click it. Gonna go for Qinglong next. That's going to net a search for Gigi. And then send no material. He's gonna use the Gigi. Gonna send another Qinglong. That's gonna summon itself. So there's no Nian access this turn. At least right now there isn't. Yeah, right now he has to think about how he can play around Nibiru potentially lurking in Pak's hand, because Pak has 3 unknowns in his hand right now. The only known is Lulu at a back off Gigi. So he has to be careful. And I don't believe either player was on Bamboozling Gossip Shadow or the Ultimaya Crystal Wing package. So they have to play with like Lalo as their main insurance against Nibiru. Which can be tough in situations like this, where like a Nibiru here will also just force a pass back straight up, you know? So it's like really, really tough. Gonna go for Shen Shen with the level 6 and the level 3 tuner here. He's going to use Lao Lao. Yeah, he's just conceding that if Pak had Nibiru, he had it basically. There's not really any good way to play around it. And like still mount a push, because I don't think you can afford, like you can try and wait another turn, but like if you have the ability to go for the OTK, I think you might as well. He's going to Synchro off into Vermilion. Those get banished because of Shen Shen. So Vermilion can pop. Does he have a tuner? This can banish a tuner from field as well, and hand. So remember, it doesn't have to be just from grave. Yeah, so the Lulu, or sorry, the Lao Lao getting banished there hurt a little bit. But you can still banish this Lulu to pop this. And then that's, what, 58 plus 27 is 85. So yeah, this is still game. Yeah, gonna banish that to pop the token and go for battle phase. I think Pak on stream said Emanon, and then he just like dropped this hand. But yeah, that is going to be the end of the game here. So yeah, Pak's hand was not good enough to play through Nibiru. Yeah, he had Utopia Beyond here, which is like a way to reduce the token to 0 if need be. But yeah, I don't think either player had great ways to play around Nibiru specifically in like given those hands. It's tough because like when you don't have, like when your Kowloon doesn't resolve, like if you don't open it or like your Chuche gets popped as we saw there, it's hard because when you get Nibiru, then you don't have a face-up virtual world to be able to like target with Lao Lao, which is what you normally want to reserve for Nibiru situations. But yeah, like in that kind of case, it just doesn't happen. So I really do think that it's worth playing some sort of insurance card for Nibiru, whether it be Gossip Shadow. I think Gossip Shadow is better personally than the Ultimaya stuff because it seems a lot more flexible to make. You don't have to worry about like tuners versus non-tuners. You can just go for a rank 3 instead. But I do understand that like it also can prevent you from making the bigger pushes. So it is kind of a toss-up, but I think the deck still is somewhat in like the stages of finalizing, especially for the extra deck. Like the main deck, I think is very, very solved. Like it's very straightforward to build the main deck for this deck. But the extra deck could always use some like tweaking in terms of utility. But that is what the virtual world mirror looks like. I feel like this is going to get boring relatively fast. The deck itself is pretty cool, but especially the mirrors. Like the mirrors, like they're very complex in certain aspects, but in other aspects, they can kind of just devolve down to who like drew the better hand, like based on like what your opponent opened as well. Because we saw neither player could really combat like the opener for VFD in either game 1 or game 2. So like you're relying a lot on your like non-engine cards that you have to draw, which is never really like great. You know, you never want to have to rely on opening like specific hand traps. And then like when you do draw the hand traps, like Gabriel drew the Nibiru here, like sometimes if you just don't have the way to combat that with your engine, you just lose. So I think this deck has to play a lot of like non-engine cards, just to be able to A, draw off of like stuff like Croc or Coral Dragon or Stardust Charge, or B, to like when you do get interrupted, you at least have some insurance that you don't like immediately die. So yeah, I think personally I would try and play a lot of hand traps if I were to pick up this deck. Not sure if I would pick up this deck right now just because it has a big target on its back after this tournament, but yeah, that is Virtual World in a nutshell. I think everyone now is very familiar with these cards. You kind of have to be after watching these matches. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like as well as any thoughts or feedback in the comments. Subscribe for more informative Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you want to, you can follow me on Discord, Twitter, or Twitch. All through in the description as always. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.